my job. I was born to preach the gospel. I was born to preach the gospel. I was born to preach the gospel. But I sure do love my job. Yes, I sure do love my job. Yeah. Oh, I really love my job.
Good morning, Rooted Men. Honored to be with you here this morning, live from Rochester Hills. I'm Tim Morton, Area Director for the Fellowship of Christian Athletes for Southeast Michigan, and want to put some closure to this E3 discipleship journey that we've been going on. I'm going to talk about empowering by launching. And I want to focus this morning on several scriptures that kind of speak to that. The first is in Matthew 28, where Jesus gives his disciples what is known as the Great Commission. And after teaching them everything that they needed to know, Jesus launches them into the world to fulfill the mission of building the kingdom through the multiplication of disciples. In Matthew 28:16, it reads, "The 11 disciples traveled to Galilee, to the mountain where Jesus had directed them. When they saw him, they worshiped, but some doubted. Jesus came near and said to them, 'All authority has been given to me in heaven and on earth. Go, therefore, and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe everything I have commanded you. And remember, I am with you always to the very end of the age.'" See, the final step in mobilizing someone to carry on a disciple-making mission doesn't mean that you abandon them. Jesus launched his disciples on this discipleship mission, but promises to be with them to the very end of the age. And the way that he is with them is through this gift, this guide of the Holy Spirit, his presence in them and through them. In the book of Acts, at the very beginning, Luke writes this in verse 1:4. "While he was with them, he commanded them not to leave Jerusalem, but to wait for the Father's promise, which, he said, you have heard me speak about. For John baptized with water, but you will be baptized with the Holy Spirit in a few days." So when they had come together, they asked him, "Lord, are you restoring the kingdom to Israel at this time?" He said to them, "It's not for you to know the times or the periods that the Father has set by his own authority, but you will receive power when the Holy Spirit has come on you, and you will be my witnesses in Jerusalem, in all Judea and Samaria, and to the ends of the earth." You see, the Holy Spirit was the game changer. And 50 days after Passover, Pentecost comes, and it's game on for the disciples. See a similar moment in Paul's life in Acts 20. As he prepares to leave the church in Ephesus, he gives a confident charge to his friends to carry on the ministry that he's modeled for them, that he's taught them, even cried over them. In verse 28 of chapter 20 of Acts, it reads, "Be on guard for yourselves and for all the flock of which the Holy Spirit has appointed you as overseers, to shepherd the church of God, which he purchased with his own blood. I know that after my departure, savage wolves will come among you, not sparing the flock. Men will rise up even from your own number and distort the truth to lure the disciples into following them. Therefore, be on alert, remembering that day and night for 3 years I have never stopped warning each of you with tears. And now I commit you to God and to the word of his grace, which is able to build you up and give you an inheritance among all who are sanctified. Amazing words. The E3 process, Rooted Men, never ends. We will continually engage relationally. We will continue to equip others in God's truth, and we will continue to empower others to reach others. I just recently finished a book called Hero Maker, Dave Ferguson. Kind of a required reading by our state director, Matt Diner, and we're gathering together to discuss the contents of this book. And the premise is that a disciple maker is a hero maker. And there's 5 practices, essential practices. I'll talk about them briefly in just a second. But what you need to see yourself as a disciple who makes disciples is you're making heroes. See, every great story has a hero, a villain, a victim, and a guide. And I would say that guide is a coach, is a mentor, is a discipler. And the master coach, Jesus, is the greatest hero maker of our time. And he is our guide to becoming that hero that makes heroes. It's just another way of looking at being a disciple that makes disciples. So the 5 essential practices are briefly, one is to be thinking about multiplication, not addition, not adding people who are following you, but adding people that are following Jesus, who are creating people to follow Jesus, that creates people to follow Jesus. You see, it's a multiplication type thinking that we need to have to develop other leaders. See, it's not about you. It's about them. Then you want to teach them, it's about them. And to do that, you must give them permission. You must give people permission. The second principle, permission giving, is to see the leadership potential in others around you. Using this statement, I see in you this. I see you doing this. Sharing and casting that vision that they might not even see themselves. You see, once they start seeing themselves as a disciple, then they will understand the process of multiplication and how they fit into it. But you have to guide them to that place. So the third point is disciple multiplying. They need to see themselves that they need to be duplicating others in the discipleship process. The fourth one is gift activating. I thought this was very intriguing because it means that we're all different, we're all unique, we're all gifted in different ways through the power of the Holy Spirit. And so what we're required to do is to help others take that gift and be a kingdom builder with it, wherever they are, wherever God has placed them, in the circles that they have influence over. It's not trying to make someone be who you are or a duplicate of you, but they might have a different gifting. They might have a different experience, a testing, a trial that will help give them purpose. That's something they've learned through it that they can become a disciple maker with. Super powerful. The last statement is about just being a kingdom builder. It's taking your focus to not measuring your effectiveness on how many people are following you, but measuring your effectiveness on how many people are discipling others that are discipling others. It's kind of a paradigm shift mindset thinking. Wanted to share that with you today because it's definitely encouraged me and helped me and equipped me in my disciple making process with others. Because at FCA, we're all about discipling coaches. We want to make a hero maker out of coaches and athletes who want to become a hero that makes hero makers out of other coaches and athletes. I pray this has been an inspiring journey for you, Rooted Men. Thank you for going on this E3 discipleship journey with me. You know, the calling to be a disciple who makes disciples is probably the greatest calling we could ever receive. And it was not a suggestion. It was a command. So if we are a true follower, if we're not a fan, but we're a true follower of Jesus Christ, we should be discipling others with the hope and prayer that they will be empowered to disciple others as well. We already have the blueprint of how to do it. We have the master coach, Jesus, that gives us that. He was and still and will always be the ultimate hero maker. God bless until we meet again.